Hi, it's Piper. I almost forgot how I start videos. Hey, you dirty little shits, how are you? I've been gone for a very, very, very long time. I don't know. Anyway, I'll just make this short and hope the demonetization police does not break down my door. My grandmother broke her hip, like I said before, and she had to come home early because of the censored. It hit our hospital, the hospitals have been full, and they just... I don't know if they didn't have space for her, or if they just didn't want her to catch it, or what. But anyway, so I went over to her house to take care of her because nobody really sees my job as a real job, and they don't think that I need to make money to live. So, but, it didn't really matter back then because I was only supposed to be over there for like a week at most. So that's what I packed for, a week at most, actually a few days because I travel really light. And I am not currently at liberty to say what happened, so that's the end of the story, sorry. How about a song from someone who doesn't know how to play a ukulele and hasn't touched one in 2 months? Shit up at this point, man. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, sorry, I just made that up because I was bored and haven't touched this thing in like 2 months, so I don't remember any of the songs I learned. But anyway, there you go, now you know. So, I didn't come home because I figured it was better safe than sorry. I didn't really know how long this quarantine would last. I stayed at my grandmother's house without internet, no computer, pretty much nothing I could work with. So... although I did bring some notebook paper so I could work on my comic, but I can no longer publish it because I missed all the deadlines. And also, without my cats, I really missed my fuzzy boys so much. I'm so glad to have them back, but, I'm not very open with my grandmother, so I found myself feeling very lonely very quickly, and of course with nothing to work on, little to do, and no way to get out of it, I slipped into this depressive boredom that was unlike anything I have ever felt before. I know I quip that I live in the middle of nowhere all the time. It's pretty easy to do when I'm like a mid-sized YouTuber at best, but I still have more subscribers than there are people in my town. Oh my god, I really do have that many subscribers. Oh my god, my town could fit into my YouTube channel like 4 times. Sorry, I think I just had a blue screen of death there for a few seconds, but not in the computer, in my brain. But anyway, my grandmother's house, it is truly out in the middle of nowhere. And it was even worse when what few businesses were there scattered around the woods, they were all shut down, except for my favorite gentrification hell, of course, Walmart. And, remember how I didn't have a driver's license? Well, I still don't. But I can drive now, sort of. Not very well. My grandmother needed things from Walmart. I mean, so did the whole rest of the town, so I didn't want to go. But what other option did I have? I tried to use cellular data on my phone to buy things off Amazon, but it wouldn't let me buy things with my phone, and my phone would not take apps, so I was very limited with what I could do on my phone. So, even though I hadn't driven a car in years, she insisted, and what else did we have? We didn't have any other options. She broke her hip, she couldn't drive. So at first, she said we were just gonna drive around and get me used to it again, but before I knew it, as I screamed internally the whole way, I realized she had given me directions to the Helmart itself, and I was already there. Very sneaky, but I guess it worked. Kind of mean, actually, now that I think of it. She could have been upfront about that, prepared me for it. Well, whatever. Yeah, there couldn't have been more than, like, maybe 2,000 people living in her town, but I swear to every single one of them was at Walmart. And out of the 10 of them that were there wearing face masks, I'd say only about 4 were wearing them properly. None of them knew just how far 6 feet was. None of them followed the arrows on the ground, and nothing on my grandmother's list was actually in the store. I don't think anyone really cared about anything. Like, I don't know. I guess these stupid rednecks just don't care if this disease spreads everywhere. But anyway, it was truly the worst shopping experience of my life. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way, but, you know, she refused to make detailed lists, or worse, just a goddamn compromise once or twice. So I had to go back to Walmart, like, pretty much every week to find something. Easily the most stressful and yet also the most interesting thing I went through. Social isolation does weird things to me, I guess. There really wasn't much to do there. After a while, I don't quite know when, as I wasn't keeping track of the days, I started to recognize the local birds. Like, not by species, but as individuals. You know, before, birds always just kind of blended into the background to me. Birds are just kind of there, living their lives. But now I see birds are individuals. They have personalities, differences in body shape and fat and bone structure. My favorite bird, I named him Arnold. He looked kind of dopey. He had like this fat body, but this really skinny head. It was kind of funny. I loved Arnold. I have not seen Arnold in a really long time, but, you know, birds, they're just like people, really. I never befriended them, though, because they're just like people, social distancing. I had no internet. I mean, so for all I know, birds can carry the censored. I couldn't just look that up. I mean, I guess I could have, but how would I have gotten accurate information? Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. What am I even talking about? So at some point, I got tired of wearing and washing the same 3 shirts over and over again, and it was getting hot out really fast. So I just swallowed what was left of my pride. Not enough to choke on, don't worry, fam. And I bought Walmart clothes. Now, full disclosure, most of my clothes have been hand-me-downs from my aunt for like several years. I am not very fashion forward. I do not know what I'm doing, but I did always see clothes from Walmart as kind of like a last resort because they're kind of ugly. But it seems like a cruel twist of fate came for my anti-gentrification ass because, you see, as we speak, it is covered by itchy Walmart panties. Now it's time for a rock-bottom fashion show. I'll call it Queer Chic. Day 1. Pairing a Walmart shirt and shorts with one of my old flannel shirts to ease myself into Walmart fashion. Stage of grief, bargaining. It all goes downhill from here, I'm afraid. Day 2. William Brown would think this is cool. As a matter of fact, I think he may actually own this shirt. I'm the author, so he wears whatever I say he wears or whatever I draw him in, but, you know, paired with these high-waisted, Hot Topic mom jeans, it's just him. I don't know. Day 3. You can take the trash out of the trailer, but you can't take the trailer out of the trash. Notice how the bottom of my shirt is actually poking out from under my pants. Just, ooh la la. Never has a hotter kung fu outfit existed. Day 4. Hiding depression behind pastels and a fun, beachy print. This is an ensemble for a stupid ginger who got an asymmetrical cut that grew out weird and hopes everyone sees the bold shirt pattern instead of the hair. If you hold your ear to this shirt, you can hear Pink Freak by Elliot Lee playing. It's a good song. Day 5. Washed up former YouTuber tries desperately to cling to fashion sense before apocalypse. The shirt's material isn't that comfortable on my sensitive autism skin, but look how fun and ready for the sun I am. Also, my giraffe neck makes it really easy to take an outfit of the day selfie without revealing my face. Thank you, giraffe neck. Anyway, day 6. $5 shirt returns to its natural habitat because Grandma needed Little Debbie cakes, paired with a wet seal jacket, so old it has holes in it. It started raining when I took this picture, and I believe if there's a higher power, it might have been crying for me. Maybe. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Day 7. Perhaps the worst one yet. Cool dad sells weed to son's friends for a discount. But wait. If you unbutton it, it becomes wannabe Cuban drug lord. You met this man near the trailer park through the woods and inside a rundown shack surrounded by a chain link fence. There's a beware of dogs sign, but you can't see a dog anywhere. Muffled in the background, you can hear Florida Kilos by Lana Del Rey playing from somebody's car. You can't tell if these chills you're feeling are anxiety or if they just have the bass up too high and you can feel it from all the way over there. And finally, day 8, the finale of outfit combinations. The town whore on laundry day. If you look closely, you can see the outline of the nipple ring that didn't get infected from a bad piercer and have to be taken out. Stage of grief, acceptance. I am garbage. I am wearing garbage. I have always been garbage. It is okay to be garbage, and I don't aspire to anything other than garbage. Garbage forever. The end. I need a glass of water. Pretty much all I did during this age of boredom was play Animal Crossing and go outside to do kung fu in the driveway because I didn't have any space anywhere else. And it was really awkward, by the way. Not just because I don't like it when people watch me work out, which I really hate, but those Walmart shorts are ill-fitting, and sometimes old men would slow their cars down and stare at me as they passed by like, "F*** off, you dirty perverts. I will drive this mop I'm using as a bow staff into your skull, and then you can tell me if my ass was worth staring at." What was I talking about again? Well, as time passed, I slowly stopped caring about the human world as I delved further and further into Animal Crossing. My town is called the Shire because I'm a nerd. I spent about, maybe 320-something hours on my island playing the profile that's connected to my Nintendo account, which is the only run you can check hours on. So who knows about the rest? I also made Aretti, Elijah, William, and even Whitney. Total playtime? Don't know. Don't want to know. However many waking moments there are in 2 months, I guess, because my town is decked out to the point where it's just a gaudy display of pure boredom. I've also since encountered a pretty bad problem. You see, Flurry started calling me Muffin instead of Angus, as a nickname, which was totally cute for maybe 2 seconds. And then everyone in town wanted to call me Muffin, and I was just like, bro, stop. My name is Angus. So finally one day I thought, hey, maybe if I manually enter a nickname, I can report it to Isabel and say, hey, Flurry is using inappropriate language, and then she'll just set it back to default, and then I won't have to deal with the nickname thing anymore. Genius, right? That safeguard Nintendo added after somebody changed one of the animal's catchphrases to the N-word and it spread like wildfire or something. I don't remember exactly what happened. But because you do have to enter something. So I just decided to type daddy so I could take a screenshot first, and it could be an inside joke maybe you guys would think is funny. Well, surprise, surprise, Piper, you dingus. Isabel only reset her catchphrase, not the nickname. So now I'm stuck with a hamster that calls me daddy, and it's really creepy. Like when you guys call me daddy, it's cute, because humans have a sense of irony and humor. You guys call me daddy knowing what it means and how it sounds. Meanwhile, Animal Crossing is just generating terrible dialogue like this. Pretty much my only way to fix it at this point, I think, is to kick Flurry out. But I don't want my hamster to move out. I like my hamster. Just look at her house, guys. I put a lot of effort into this house. I love my hamster. Oh, and it gets worse. Now everyone in the Shire wants to call me daddy. Stop this, Nintendo. It was a bad joke gone wrong. I regret it. Okay, let me fix it, please. Please. Okay, if I keep going on like this, it's just going to turn into an Animal Crossing channel, and I don't think anyone wants that. Or do you? I also started practicing singing because I was just that bored. Like, actually practicing singing, not just mumbling to myself in the microphone at a low volume that I can barely hear. You know, like, without a ukulele to hide behind, I was forced to actually face my voice and what I was having a hard time doing, which turned out to be everything. I got laryngitis like 4 times because, apparently you're supposed to warm up first. Who would have known? Probably me if I had the internet. Apparently you cannot warm up by singing. I guess that does not work. Don't get too excited for me though, because I still suck. But you know, singing is something I've always wanted to learn, and I think I deserve some kind of hobby that I don't monetize. I know artists, we have this tendency to monetize all our hobbies because art usually starts out as a hobby, and then when we start doing it for a living, sometimes we lose that sense of, you know, being allowed to just have fun. You know what I mean? Well, I think I've rambled enough, so let's just catch up with me now. By the time the state reopened, which it kind of is, but not really, I decided to come back because I just don't give a fuck anymore. I mean, the situation I'm in isn't any better, but I had a lot of work piling up, so I don't want it to get any worse. Though I did have my Kindle with me during the quarantine, so I was using the note-taking function, and I read and edited my book like 3 times. So I figured out why there were so many grammatical errors and shit. It's kind of embarrassing. See, I actually accidentally submitted the beta version of my book instead of the alpha, because my file names are really bad. That's probably what got me, but I didn't even realize it until I noticed one of the scenes I added at the last minute wasn't in the book, and that means it were important. I would have noticed it was missing, but also it wasn't in my book, so that means if it wasn't in the most recent copy, I wasn't editing the most recent versions. So I guess just sit tight and I'll fix it. I wouldn't recommend buying the physical copy anyway. I don't know much about the censored, but I'm fairly sure you can't get the censored by downloading it. But anyway, for the ebook, I think you can update it on Amazon.com under Manage My Content and Devices, but Amazon kept dodging my questions because their seller support is absolute garbage, and I have reached my breaking point, so I will no longer be publishing through Amazon. I will be publishing through Ingram Spark, most likely, who will put it on Amazon, because I absolutely cannot deal with their seller support. It is just too bad. I have tried so hard for so long to explain to them that there are issues with the first book, and that you all have even said in a poll with like 95 to 96% of you saying, yes, I want the updated version, please give it to me. And they just are not cooperating. So I cannot deal with people who won't cooperate. I'm just going to use my stimulus check to buy ISBNs and shit, and I'm going to publish a full color, high quality hardback edition of my book that'll have bonus content and naturally be more expensive because it's hardback and full color. But I'll keep you updated on that. I feel like I deserve to have a book I can be proud of, and since I am the publisher of this book and I realized this mistake and all these grammatical errors, I feel like it's both within my rights to fix it, but also my responsibility to fix it. So I'm going to fix it unless I get sick and die first. In which case, it was nice knowing you guys. So, I came back to fix my book, and I found, like, my whole room is coated in a layer of dust, which sucks because I have a level 4 dust allergy, meaning severe. 4 is severe, but whatever. It felt kind of like I was stuck inside an open-world post-apocalyptic video game, just poking around the ruins of what used to be someone's bedroom. There were also chunks of cat hair everywhere, and a lot of my stuff was on the floor, and I think maybe my cats had some fights up here, you know, probably really mad and looking for the wet food. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to get situated. So I guess I better get to it now. Oh, book 2. Yeah, I also have been working on book 2, but I kind of reached a research wall because, as you know, it takes place in the 90s and there's a lot of stuff I have to look up, and I can't even continue writing it unless I look it up. Hence why I put so much time into my Animal Crossing town. But I might post some Animal Crossing videos, but I think my next video, it might be about J.K. Rowling, because, like, the very day, and I shit you not, the very day of my return, J.K. Rowling decided to do some J.K. trolling, and it's about time I say something about this. because, I've defended her in the past, but I just think she has gone way too far now, and I am done with her. But anyway, how do I close videos again? It's been a really long time. Okay, that's all for now. Please rate, subscribe, maybe hit that notification bell, and blessed be motherfucker. Leave a comment for the algorithm. Did I cover all my bases?